Welcome back to another video, and today we got episode 10 of NBA Playoff Watch, and we're typically here every single Thursday, every single week, giving you guys these videos. Today's video is coming out on a Wednesday. I wasn't going to be able to record tomorrow, so I wanted to make sure I got you a video, because we didn't record last week, so it's been a little bit. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of shaking up. I will tell you, this episode's playoff predictions are going to be pretty insane. I got a little bold today. I woke up, I don't know, I was feeling some certain teams today, so it's going to be a bit crazy, I will say, but we're going to talk about all 30 NBA teams around the league, and then based on today's standings, put them in a playoff bracket with the play-in, predict the entire way, all the way to our NBA champion. So yeah, it should be pretty fun. Let's go ahead and jump right in to the Eastern Conference standings. The Pistons still stay at the top. I will say, the Pistons, man, they're playing a pretty tough schedule right now. They got a pretty tough stretch. They just came off an 11-point loss to the Spurs Monday night. Right now, they're actually playing the Thunder. The Thunder are without SGA, J-Dub, and Chet Holmgren, so I'd assume the Pistons probably win this game. They're currently up 1 point. It is in the second quarter. The Pistons in Detroit as well. The Pistons are fully healthy. I'd expect them to win, but the Thunder are keeping it close without their three best players, so maybe that is a little concerning. But I will say, when you watch the Pistons, when you look at the analytics, I mean, this team defensively is a huge problem. They are really, really good. There was a time a few days ago where they were the best team in the league in terms of win percentage. They actually surpassed the Thunder. Now, the Thunder have taken that back, but they're playing them right now, so I think if the Pistons do win tonight, they would take that title back, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, Cade Cunningham playing at an MVP level. Jalen Duren has been absolutely amazing this year. Tobias Harris has been really good. They got a lot of really good players in Detroit. They're a physical team. They got the experience from last year. The Pistons are a really good team. You could argue right now they're playing like the best team in the league. Yeah, they just came off a loss to the Spurs, like I said. They're playing the Thunder, and then they also have to play the Cavs on Friday. That is a really tough 3-game stretch there. We'll see what the Pistons are made of for sure in the next few days. The Celtics at the 2 seed, just an insane what the Celtics have been able to do this year. Joe Mazzulla, absolutely phenomenal coach. Jaylen Brown's in MVP discussions right now. When Tatum comes back, this team can legitimately go to the finals. I think that's fair to say. The East is, these top 4 teams I think have separated, but honestly, if you told me any one of these 4 teams made it to the finals to represent the Eastern Conference, I really wouldn't call you crazy. Everyone thought the Celtics were going to go into the season. Everyone was saying it was going to be a gap year for them. Jaylen Brown had other plans. This team has been ridiculous. They just brought in Vucevic at the trade deadline. I'm not too sure how I feel about that, but I will say, he's been all right. With the Celtics, he had a 19-point game in there. Recently, the past few games, he hasn't been all that good. But they did need a big, so bringing him in, I don't hate it. Yeah, the Celtics, they shoot a lot of threes. Offensively, I think that can win them a lot of games. That can also lose them a lot of games, though, if they're having an off-shooting night. The Knicks coming in at the 3 seed. I will say, the Knicks are a really weird team. They had a stretch in there where they were the first offense in the league, and then a top 10 defense. If they could get that consistently, they would be a problem. But defensively, if you look at their games against good teams, more the top half of the league, they're really not that good defensively. They're in the 20s, I think, so a little bit below average. That's pretty rough, and you're going to play all these good teams in the playoffs. So the Knicks defensively does concern me, but offensively, we all know how good they are. I just watched the Knicks play in person, actually, the other day against the Bulls. They didn't impress me too much. Cat had a pretty good game, but besides that, they didn't really score all that much. We all know how bad the Bulls are right now. They didn't impress me too much. So the Knicks have been my team that I've been picking out the East the most of any other team this season. I don't know. I'm starting to feel a little bit differently about the Knicks right now. Watching them play that full game, watching some of their recent outings, especially against the Pistons. They just lost by 15 to Cleveland the other day. I don't know. They're still a really good team. Could they make the final still? For sure. But recently, I don't know. I'm kind of starting to switch my feelings on the Knicks right now, and they're they're pretty close to dropping down to the 4 seed. They've been the 2 seed for a lot of the season. They're pretty close to dropping to that 4 seed. The Cavs here are on an absolute heater right now. They've won a lot of games since they've acquired James Harden. They've won 8 of their last 9 games. They just beat the Knicks. Their only loss is a road game to the Thunder in there. And if you're losing to the Thunder, I mean, they have a win over the Knicks in this stretch, a win over the Nuggets. Granted, I mean, they haven't played some of the toughest teams, but you watch bringing in James Harden, him and Donovan Mitchell are like insane analytically, offensively together. I mean, it's ridiculous. I know James Harden did just have an injury last night, so that is a little worrisome. I think it was his thumb. I think it just came out as well that he is going to plan to play through it, so hopefully that doesn't affect them too much. And this has been without Evan Mobley as well. He is like, he is such an important player for their defense especially. So bringing him in, I'd assume the Cavs only get better. The Cavs are on an upward trend right now. I'm really loving what I'm seeing from them. The Raptors, pretty solid season. I don't know how much of a contender they really are, but if you told Raptors fans they were going to be the 5 seed in the East, I think they would take it. Nobody really had expectations for the Raptors coming into the season. Everyone thought they could be maybe like a fringe play-in team, but I think I predicted them. Actually, I might have had them in the play-in. I don't know. It was definitely around like the 8, 9, 10, 11 range, though. I mean, nobody thought they were going to be this good. So, yeah, shout out to the Raptors, 10 games above 500. They could definitely, I mean, defensively, they're really solid. They have a lot of games where they can just lock down defensively. So I think they could give the 4 seed in the East a little bit of trouble. Like I said, I think the top 4 in the East have kind of separated, but I don't know. The Raptors could give a team some troubles. Same thing with the 76ers, especially if they're fully healthy. Joel Embiid has been amazing this season, really quietly. He's averaging almost 27 points a game, 7 rebounds. He's played a lot as well. Tyrese Maxey's still doing his thing at 29 points a game. Quentin Grimes has been so good for Philly. Kelly Oubre's been solid. VJ Edgecombe. And then this is all without Paul George. Like when he comes back in, he was really good for them defensively this season. When he comes back, I think the 76ers ceiling raises dramatically. I could see the 76ers being that chaos team in the East. Like I said, I think the top 4 have separated, but if anyone's going to do it, I feel like better about the 76ers than the Raptors, kind of just throwing a wrench in that all that. Like I could see the 76ers upsetting, maybe a Celtics, maybe even the Knicks. I mean, maybe the Cavs, honestly. Like I could see the 76ers, if fully healthy, they could definitely make some noise in the Eastern Conference playoffs here. The Magic in the play-in, they're still definitely alive for that 6 seed, 5 seed. There's still a lot of games left, I think like 25. So the Magic definitely, they're not like a bad team. I think the Magic, coming into the season, the expectations were really high. People thought, myself included, I predicted them, I think, to win like 50 games almost. I had them as a 3 seed in the East. They haven't been that good. I know they've been dealing with injuries, but I don't know, man. Paolo Banchero, he hasn't been, all that impressive to me. I mean, 22, 8, and 5, pretty good stats, but I don't know. Watching this Magic team play, they're not super impressive. They did just beat the Lakers on the road, though. They play the Rockets tomorrow. That's a big game. So we'll see. But I don't know. The Magic have been a little disappointing this season. The Heat in the play-in once again. Just pretty typical stuff. Norman Powell's had a great season, but I don't know. There's not much to talk about here with the Heat. Same thing with the Hawks. I will say Kuminga looked pretty good last night in his debut with the team. I think he had 27 points. They also brought in Buddy Hield. I actually like that acquisition. Getting rid of Porzingis as well. He wasn't even playing for them. So honestly, I think that's a pretty good trade for the Hawks. Banking on Kuminga's upside, bringing in a shooter like Buddy Hield to kind of support Jalen Johnson. I don't know if Jalen Johnson is going to be a future like number 1 option in the league, but if they can get a high draft pick with their pick from New Orleans, they could like potentially get a top 5 pick. And then if the Hawks draft, I mean, imagine if they get a top 3 pick, but even the top 5, like they could get a guy like Caleb Wilson, Kingston Flemings to be their number 1. Jalen Johnson as a number 2 option in this league, that sounds pretty good. Surrounding him with guys like Onyeka Okongwu, who's averaging 16. CJ McCollum, I don't know if he's long-term, but he's been pretty solid for them. Nikhil Alexander-Walker averaging almost 20 points. Dyson Daniels, really good player. Reese Asher still has the upside. I mean, he was the number 1 pick a few years back. Buddy Hield's a really good piece. I think the Hawks are in a really good spot. It's going to be very interesting to see what pick they get because they're a team that could be like a number one option away from being a really good team here. The Hornets, man, continue to impress. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They are one of the hottest teams in the league right now. They did kind of cool off a little bit. They were kind of beating up on some bad teams. I will say, though, I mean, I don't even know if I could say that. I mean, in their stretch, they beat the Spurs. They beat the Rockets on the road. Then they kind of cooled off a little bit. They lost to the Pistons. They lost to the Rockets, the Cavs. But those are all really good teams. And they were close in all those games. The Hornets are looking really fun. Con Knippel has been amazing. LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller. Those three guys are just a really fun team to watch. The Hornets are the most fun team to watch. They also brought in Kobe White. I like that. Miles Bridges still there. I mean, this is a really young, really solid team. So I'm loving the Hornets right now. They're the 10 seed in the East. The Bucks, I don't really know what's going to happen with Giannis. I don't think anybody truly does. He hasn't played in I don't even know how long. I don't even know if he's going to play again this season. I mean, I still think Giannis is call me crazy. I know he hasn't really played this season. But Giannis is, at bare minimum, still a top 5 player in this league. Maybe even top 3. I'd probably say he is 3. I mean, I'd take Jokic and SGA, but Giannis is probably my 3. I mean, I'd take him. I think I'd take him over Luka. I think I'd take him over Wemby, Ant. I mean, those are probably the next 3 guys there. I think I'd still have Giannis as my 3. So he is that good of a player. We'll see what happens in the offseason. It sounds like he's not going to be a Buck, but maybe he'll stay. I don't really know what's going on with the Bucks, but I'd assume the 10 teams you see in the postseason for the East, these are probably going to be the 10. I know the Bucks are only 1.5 games back, but I can't really see them making that much of a push. The Bulls definitely will not be. They have lost 10 games in a row. They are officially fully into the tank now, and I can't be more happy. I mean, it does suck watching your favorite team just lose every game, but honestly, man, the Bulls have needed to do this. They're long overdue for a full tank, full rebuild. They sold everyone at the trade deadline. Hopefully, they can jump up into the lottery. Hopefully, they can just keep losing, boost those lottery odds, because I would love to get one of the top players in the draft this season. It is an insane draft class, insane talent. So, yeah, I can't wait to see where the Bulls end up in the draft, who they end up getting, because that's really the only positive with this team. Kind of the same thing. I mean, the Wizards, they have a lot of young pieces, and they did just bring in Trae Young, Anthony Davis. If they add that with a top 3 pick, they're going to be pretty gross next season, I will say. The Nets, they're still a lot away. I mean, they're not as complete as the Wizards are, I would say. So they're definitely, I mean, the Nets, I feel like they're a team that deserves the number 1 pick, honestly. I mean, the Wizards have a lot of guys. The Pacers just made the finals last season. Now, the Pacers, they still have some light at the end of the tunnel. Tyrese Halliburton's going to come back. They just traded for Zubac, so that's a good addition. And they're probably going to get like a top 5 pick. So the Pacers have a lot of things going for them. The Wizards do as well. They just bought at the trade deadline. I feel like the Nets feel like a deserving team to get that number 1 pick, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments. There's definitely some teams in the West who deserve it. You can look at the standings now. I mean, the Jazz do have some young pieces, though. The Kings, they probably need it. The Pelicans as well. We'll start at the top, though. The Thunder, still at the top. I mean, they've been doing this. They're 7-3 in their last 10, which honestly isn't that great for Thunder standards, especially because they started out like 24-1, and now recently they've. I mean, if I'm not sure if it was exactly 24-1, but if you just say it was, I mean, that means they're 21-13 over their last, 34 games. That's really, I mean, that is pretty solid, but that's not great for Thunder standards. Now, a lot of this was SGA's been out, Chet Holmgren's been out, Jalen Williams has been out. Jalen Williams, I will say, as of recently, has been showing some flashes of him getting back to the form he was in the postseason last year. They're definitely going to need that if they want to repeat. That's really the only flaw with the Thunder. I mean, the defense is still ridiculously good. And bringing in Jared McCain, I just love that addition for them. But yeah, like I said, I mean, that's really the only flaw you could find. I mean, they are a little bit reliant on SGA, especially in like at the half-court offense. They're going to need Jalen Williams to become that. I mean, he had a 40-point game in the finals. Like, he was ridiculous last season in the postseason. They're definitely going to need that if they want to repeat. But right now, just nobody's healthy for them, and they're still at the top of the West. The Spurs are closing that gap, though. They're currently on a 9-game win streak. They just beat the Pistons the other day by 11 points on the road. Pretty impressive win from them. I really liked what I saw from the Spurs. The only problem with the Spurs, they have no experience, like literally none. Harrison Barnes is kind of their only guy. De'Aaron Fox has one playoff series. Harrison Barnes obviously was with the Warriors when they won all their titles, but he doesn't even start for them anymore. And, you know, he's obviously not... He is an important player, but he's not even probably top 5 on the Spurs teams. The Spurs have a lot of young players. I mean, Wemby, Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox. That's just off the top of my head. Keldon Johnson's averaging 13. Harrison Barnes is averaging 10 points, but, I mean... You know what I'm saying? Like, Harrison Barnes is not going to move the needle in terms of who has experience on this team. I will say, though, the Spurs have been amazing. Like, they could definitely make the finals. And it's crazy because they are so young and they're so ahead of schedule. But that's a good thing. The Spurs are in a phenomenal spot right now. Wemby is probably a top 5 player in the league. So, yeah, the Rockets actually jump up to the 3 seed. This, like, 3, 4, 5, 6 range in the West has been flipping pretty much every episode. The Rockets are up to the 3. Interesting. I mean, the Rockets, since they've lost Steven Adams, their offensive rating has gone down dramatically. It's kind of just because they don't really get the second chance points as much, which does make sense. I mean, you were running double big lineups with Sengun, Steven Adams. You had KD on the floor, Jabari Smith. I mean, they had a lot of big players. Without Steven Adams, it has taken a bit of a hit. Now, defensively, they're still really good. Amin Thompson is one of the best defenders in the league. I really wish we could have seen this team with Fred VanVleet. I feel like that could honestly get them to like being the clear, maybe even, I mean, the clear number 3 in the West, maybe even the number 2 in the West. That's how he is so impactful for them. So losing him for the season does really hurt them. And same thing with Steven Adams. Losing him has really hurt them. But I don't know, man. The Rockets have shown a lot of flashes to be really great this season. They've also shown some times where they're a really inconsistent team. The Nuggets, man, their defense, they're kind of like the Knicks. Like offensively, they have like the best. They have they're first in the league in points per game. I'm sure if you look at all the advanced stats, it'll tell you the Nuggets are probably the best offensive team. I think it's them and the Knicks at the top. I think the Celtics are up there as well. When you have a guy like Jokic, you're obviously going to have that. But Jamal Murray's missed some time. Jokic has missed like a month. Peyton Watson's out right now. Aaron Gordon hasn't played in a long time. Cam Johnson's missed some time. Christian Braun's missed some time. Like, they have been so beat up, and they're still 36-22. This Nuggets team is probably the deepest it's ever been, which is really good, obviously. But defensively, man, you look at their defensive rating. I think it's like 25 or something. Like, it's not good. The Timberwolves, on the other hand, they're 36-23. They're the 5 seed in the West. They've been the 6 seed for a lot of this season, which is weird because you look at their analytics. They're like top 10 in offense and defense. I think they're top. I want to say like 2. I want to say like 2 in defense, 7 in offense, or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong team, but I'm pretty sure they're like top 5 and 1. Maybe they're 2 in offense. I don't know. I don't think they're 2 in offense though. That wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense. But you watch this team play. They play up to their competition. The problem is they kind of play down. But honestly, with how stacked the West is, I mean, they're going to probably get like a 4, 5, 6 seed. I guess they could jump up to the 3. They're only a half game back. But they're going to have to play one of these teams, the Rockets, the Nuggets, the Lakers, so they're not really going to have to worry about playing down. And they do tend to play up. I mean, Anthony Edwards is averaging almost 30 points a game this season. Julius Randle has been amazing this season, really quietly, averaging 22, 7, and 5. Really good stuff from him. Rudy Gobert, obviously we know what he is defensively for this team, and he's still averaging 11 and 11. Naz Reid's been so good. Jaden McDaniels, DiVincenzo, I feel like, is a really underrated player. Mike Conley came back. You know, they traded him. He's back on the team. Ayo Dosunmu, getting him. This team is so good. I'm telling you, Minnesota, watch out for them. The Lakers, on the other hand, I mean, you watch Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Austin Reeves play. They just don't fit. And the analytics support this. They just don't fit together. I think, I'm pretty sure in like 2 of the 3 together, I'm pretty sure like all of those are like plus net ratings. And then honestly, and I'm pretty sure with just Luka Doncic or just LeBron or just Austin Reeves on the floor, I'm pretty sure they're also plus net rating. But all three of them together, I think they're like minus 20. Like, it's rough right now for the Lakers. They have the talent. I mean, when you have Luka Doncic, LeBron James, you're going to have the upside to go very far in the playoffs. But, I mean, those three guys together, they're not playing well together. They don't fit well together. They do have the talent, but besides those three, I mean, they don't really have the depth either. So, I don't know. I'm kind of coming off the Lakers. Like, I'd probably take all five of these teams ahead of them in the West over them right now. The Suns, they're an interesting team. They're probably going to be that 7 seed. They kind of have separated themselves from the Warriors. They've also I'd say they're kind of on a tier of their own. I don't think they're really in that top 6 seed tier. The Suns are interesting. Devin Booker, Grayson Allen's been really solid. Dylan Brooks as well. But all these guys have been injured, and I think they're all injured right now. So the Suns, a little beat up right now, but they've had a really good season. The Warriors as well, really beat up. I mean, Curry's been out. They lost Jimmy Butler for the season a while back. Draymond Green's out right now. They're missing a lot of guys. I'm pretty sure. I mean, their starting lineup. I was looking at the box score of today's game. They're playing the Grizzlies right now. Their starting lineup was Al Horford, Guy Santos, Moses Moody, I think Pods, and maybe it was like Pat Spencer or something. Like, that is pretty bad. They are really beat up. Both these teams, the Suns and the Warriors, are really injured right now. The Trailblazers at 28 and 31. They're an interesting team. Denny Avdija is an all-star. Donovan Clingan's been pretty good. Shane Sharp. They're also a little beat up, but I don't know. I mean, I like what I've seen from Caleb Love. Being a big college basketball fan, it's fun to see him. He's averaging 11 points a game right now. He's been really solid. Trailblazers been a pretty decent team. The Clippers sold at the deadline, got rid of James Harden. They're still doing really good. Kawhi Leonard should honestly be in like MVP conversations. He's averaging 28, 6, and 4, and we all know how good he is defensively. Benedict Mathurin just had like 40 points for the Clippers the other day. They brought in Darius Garland. This is like somehow becoming a young team after being the oldest team in the league. They brought in Benedict Mathurin. Now he is a free agent, so we'll see if he stays on the Clippers. Darius Garland, obviously a young player. John Collins is a little bit on the younger side. Kawhi's not as old as you would think. I think he's like 34. So he's got a few more years left of operating at this level. He's not as old as like KD, LeBron, obviously Curry, James Harden even. I mean, he's still got a few years at his peak. So the Clippers might have something. I don't know if they're going to stay with Kawhi. They probably move on from him. I'm interested to see where Kawhi does go if he does get moved. And then you look at these next 5 teams. I mean, they're all not competing, obviously. The Grizzlies traded away Jaren Jackson Jr., so they're obviously not doing anything. They're trying to tank. There's a lot of teams tanking right now, and the NBA is trying to fix that, which, I don't know, it'll be interesting what ends up happening. I'm not going to share my thoughts too much. I will say, like, some of the proposals they've had are pretty insane. I mean, I saw one that was like a team gets the number 1 pick once every 30 years, and it's just like random, and you just get assigned that like your season. Like the Bulls would just randomly be assigned like pick 19 this year, and then next year they could have like 7, and then the year after that, and it just rotates every year. I mean, that would be something. I don't like that because obviously, you know, when you're a bad team, you got to have. They probably are just going to flatten the odds. Honestly, that's probably what will happen. Maybe increase the lottery size to like 16 instead of 12. I don't know. I mean, that's probably what's going to end up happening. I don't think the extreme stuff will happen. I mean, I've seen one where it was like, you can't pick in the top 5 back-to-back years. Like that's, I don't know about that. So we'll see what ends up happening. There's not really much to talk about with these bottom 5 teams. The Pelicans don't even have their own pick, so that's pretty brutal. The Kings are the worst team in the league right now, record-wise. I mean, Cooper Flagg's balling out for the Mavericks. That's obviously good. I mean, he is ridiculous. I could see Cooper Flagg winning an MVP in the future. Obviously not this year, but in the future. He is that good. So the Mavericks definitely have something there. We'll see what they can build around him. There's just not much to talk about with these bottom tier teams. Let's go ahead and move into the fun part, the playoff bracket. Based on today's standings, we got a clean slate. Let's start out in the bottom left with the Western Conference playing the Suns Warriors. Both these teams are so beat up right now, so it's really hard to make a prediction here. I'm just going to trust the Warriors and Steve Kerr to win this game. One game to win. I mean, the Suns are without Devin Booker, Dylan Brooks. The Warriors are without Curry, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, but they're obviously not going to have him. Porzingis isn't playing. It's a really weird lineup right now for both these teams. I'll just take the Warriors because Steve Kerr, I believe, is a really good coach. That's pretty much it, though, in all honesty. I mean, there's not much to say here. It could go anyway. Fully healthy would be also like really close because Curry. I think the Suns are probably the better team fully healthy, but the Warriors have Curry, so sometimes that's all you need. The Trailblazers Clippers. This one's interesting. I honestly trust Kawhi to get this win here. Kawhi's been so good this season. Like, he legitimately is. I mean, he's probably going to finish like top 5 in MVP voting. That's how good he's been. So I'll take him, and I'll take him to beat an injury-riddled Suns team right now. I think the Clippers, even after trading away James Harden, I've seen Benedict Mathurin playing really well recently. I'm not sure if Darius Garland has suited up for the Clippers yet. But, I mean, Kawhi's been that good. So I'll take the Clippers to get the 8 seed in the West. Moving over to the East, playing Magic Heat. I do think the Magic are the much better team. Maybe that's just preseason bias, but it's kind of hard to have that this late into the season. The Magic do feel like the much better team than the Heat. The problem is that the Heat have Eric Spoelstra, who is, I've said before, the best coach in the league. I don't know if I'd still say that, but honestly, I don't know who I'd. I mean, Spoelstra's still definitely top 5. He is that good, so the Heat could definitely win that game, but I do think the Magic are the much better team. Hawks Hornets. This one's interesting. I think right now I'm taking the Hornets. They're hot right now, and I'll take the Hornets to beat the Heat as well. They're hot. They're fun. I'm just gonna ride the Hornets hype to get the 8 seed in the East right now. They could give the Pistons some trouble. I think the Hornets are a sneaky team. Man, if the Hornets can get up to that, can get to the 7 seed and play the Celtics, I really think the Hornets could win maybe 2 games. Maybe even 3 against the Celtics. I don't think they'd beat the Celtics, but I think the Hornets could make that series very intriguing. But let's begin with the first round of the playoffs. Our playoff prediction, first round. Thunder Clippers. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Thunder. I know they're beat up, but they're still a really good team, even without SGA, even without J-Dub. I don't think J-Dub's injury is really that long term. Unless I'm mistaken. He will miss at least 2 weeks, so I guess it is a little bit of something. What's Chet got right now? I know SGA's got the ab strain, I believe. No, Chet just has back spasms, so he should be back soon. I would assume. When's SGA come back? Reevaluate in 2 weeks. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, Chet would probably play in the series if it was the playoffs, I'd assume. J-Dub, SGA, I mean, it's hard to evaluate this team without those 3 guys because they are so important, but I do think they'd beat the Thunder even without them. Beat the Clippers even without them. The Nuggets, Timberwolves, this one is tough. I think, if the Nuggets had Aaron Gordon, I've called the Nuggets my second favorite team to win the title behind the Thunder. But without Aaron Gordon, this defense is just bad. Analytically, the Timberwolves are top 10 on both sides of the ball. They have Anthony Edwards. Now, the Nuggets have Jokic, which is tough. Yeah, that's tough to match. Jamal Murray, we know how good of a closer he can be in the playoffs. But without Aaron Gordon, that defense, I don't know if I can trust it right now. I'm going to take the Timberwolves. I think they're better right now than the Nuggets. So give me the Timberwolves to move on. Rockets, Lakers. I think Luka could. I mean, we've seen him with the Mavericks lead the team to the finals. I could see that honestly happening. I feel like the NBA is wide open right now. The Thunder have kind of lost their gap on the rest of the league, it feels like. And it feels like the era of parity is fully back. We have had parity for really since the Warriors. So I feel like the Lakers and Luka, he could honestly just carry this team really deep into the playoffs. But I'm going to take the Rockets. I think they are the better team. I think they're just better built, more complete. So give me the Rockets over the Lakers. I'm just not loving what I'm seeing from the Lakers right now. Spurs Warriors, this one's pretty easy. Without Curry, I mean, the Warriors have no chance here. Even with Curry, I'd probably still take the Spurs. Although, I will say last year, we had a similar 2-7 game. The Warriors were the 7 seed. The Rockets were the 2 seed, young team, not much playoff experience. And the Warriors won in 7. But without Curry, I mean, I can't go against the Spurs. And like I said, even with Curry, I don't know if the Warriors can do that 2 years in a row. The Spurs team, I would say, is much better than the Rockets team last year. I mean, the Rockets didn't have a top 5 player in the league in Wemby. So the Spurs, even without the experience, I think they'd win that. They've shown. I mean, they're on a 9-game win streak right now. They are hot. Pistons, Hornets. The Hornets are fun, but I gotta go with the Pistons here. Their defense is just so good. I think they would give the Hornets some trouble here. The Cavs-Raptors series is interesting. I think the Raptors could slow them down a little bit, maybe win a game or two, but I think the Cavs are playing too hot right now. Since James Harden has come in, they have been one of the best teams in the league. They have figured it out fully. The Cavs are fully back. They kind of started out the season a little slow, but they brought in James Harden. Evan Mobley's not even here. I mean, I can't wait to watch this team with Evan Mobley at full strength. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. The Knicks 76ers, I feel like this series would be very high scoring, very fun to watch. But the 76ers are a little too injury-riddled right now. Obviously, Paul George suspended. The health just concerns me. That's really all it is. And I think the Knicks are the better offense. And in a series that's going to be heavily offensive, I'd like the team with the better offense. So I'll take the Knicks here. Celtics Magic, this one could be interesting. I feel like the Celtics are a team I feel like that could honestly get upset. Now, if Tatum comes back in, that'll be interesting. The only reason I say that is because they do shoot so many threes, and if they have some off-shooting games, there could be a chance that they would get upset. Like, if it's Celtics 76ers, I really could see that going either way. But then again, Joe Mazzulla is such a great coach. Jaylen Brown's playing at an MVP level, and if Tatum comes back in and looks even 70% of the player he was pre-Achilles, I think it was Achilles, I mean, the Celtics could very well just win the Eastern Conference. So I think the Celtics have maybe not as low of a floor as I'm making it sound like. Like, I think the Celtics still probably have a floor of, like, losing in the second round, but ceiling-wise, I think they could win the East. I really do. I'll take the Celtics over the Magic. Thunder Timberwolves. I put a lot of thought into this one. I've said in the past few episodes, the Thunder are still my number 1 team to win the title. The Nuggets are probably still my number 2 team. But right now, the Thunder... Now, last week, I think the Thunder were still with Jalen Williams and Chet. So I think I still took them to win it all, even without Shea, which is insane. But all 3 of them are out right now against the Pistons. J-Dub's out for 2 weeks. SGA's out for 2 weeks. I think Chet's probably fine, but call me crazy, I'm taking the Timberwolves here. We've seen the Timberwolves beat the Thunder this season full strength. I think the Timberwolves would get them right now. In a 7-game series, if it started today, the Timberwolves would win that series just because of the injuries. Now, fully healthy Thunder, I'd probably still take them, even though the Timberwolves have beat a fully healthy Thunder this season. But right now, the playoffs start today, I'm taking the Timberwolves. And I think Anthony Edwards would love to do this. They've been to back-to-back conference finals. I really think they could get to a third in a row. And Anthony Edwards, he got swept in the conference finals last year against the Thunder, I believe. He would love nothing more than to come back this season and knock off their reigning champs, beat the Thunder. So I think he's capable of doing that. I'm telling you, I really like this Timberwolves team this year. The Rockets and Spurs, this one's tough. The Rockets definitely have the experience. They lost in the first round last year in 7 games. They brought in Kevin Durant. But I'm taking the Spurs. This is really insane because in the West, every single episode, it's been Thunder and either the Timberwolves or the Nuggets. I've got the Timberwolves and the Spurs in the conference finals. I don't think I've ever taken the Spurs this far, but you look at this path, it feels pretty favorable. I think the Spurs, I'd probably take the Nuggets and the Timberwolves over the Spurs just because of the experience. But the Spurs, I'd take them over the Rockets and the Lakers in all honesty. So I got the Spurs in the conference finals, and that's nothing against them. They just don't have the experience that all these other teams really do. But, they're on a 9-game win streak. They're a really good team. They've beaten some really good teams. Wemby's a top 5 player in the league. So, typically when you have teams with no experience, they don't really have like a top 5 player in the league like the Spurs do. So maybe it's a little different this year. So I really could see the Spurs getting to the conference finals. I think their ceiling might be winning the championship. Like, they are that good of a team. So I'm not trying to discount the Spurs at all. So I got them beating the Rockets right now. Pistons, Cavs. This one's tough. It really is. James Harden did just hurt his thumb. Pre that, I might have said the Cavs get him here. But I need to see how he fully looks. Now, the Cavs, I just watched their game against the Knicks. They looked really good. James Harden, I can't discredit this. James Harden has come in, and this team has been so much better. But I am going to have to take the Pistons right now, fully healthy. I think Donovan Mitchell's dealing with something right now. Obviously, no Evan Mobley. The Cavs could very well win the East. I really wouldn't be shocked if this series happens down the line and both teams are fully healthy. I wouldn't be shocked if the Cavs won. But the Pistons right now, defensively, they look just different. They're so physical. Cade Cunningham's playing at an MVP level. Jalen Duren's been amazing. He's an all-star this year. Tobias Harris for them. So many great players all around. I got the Pistons over the Cavs. And the Knicks Celtics, I'm going to take the Knicks. I'm going to trust them to still get to the conference finals. I will say, though, I feel like the top two teams in the East right now are the Pistons and the Cavs. And that's crazy because I've taken the Knicks every week this season but one. I took the Celtics to the finals one time. I've never taken the Pistons to the finals this year, which is crazy. Every year it's been the Knicks, or every episode it's been the Knicks. That actually is kind of insane now that I think about it, that I've never taken the Pistons out of the East. I'm still taking the Knicks over the Celtics, though, even with them being a little bit iffy as of recently. And I said this earlier, they have been, against the good teams defensively, they're, like, below average. And they had a stretch where they were, like, top 10 in defense, but that was because they were beating up on bad teams. They beat the Nets by, like, 40. Against the good teams, they just haven't been good defensively, and that does worry me. But I still take them to the conference finals here. I think they have that upside. Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, so many good players for them. Landry Shamet has been an absolute X factor for them. He's an absolute sniper. He can shoot the three very well. So I still like this Knicks offense. I think they're capable. Timberwolves Spurs never had a conference finals like this year at least. I'll go ahead and take the Timberwolves. I think the experience gets them home. I don't know if the Spurs can make the they definitely can, but will they? I don't know if I'm comfortable predicting that. With the lack of experience they have, I don't know if this team can make the finals, or at least would make the finals. They definitely can because they are a very good team. But I'm taking the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards, he's got the experience. He's made 2 conference finals in a row. I think this year could be the year he breaks through and gets to the finals. I'll take the Timberwolves. Pistons, Knicks. I'm gonna take the Pistons. I'm going to take the Pistons, which is insane. This whole year, I'm not trying to do this just to be like fun, just to be different. I'll tell if I think a team is better than a team. Like, these are my for real predictions right now. Like, I don't just change things just to be different, just to be fun. I've taken the Thunder out of the West every single episode this year. This is our 10th episode. All 9 weeks, or all 9 episodes we've done, I've taken the Thunder out of the West. 8 of the 9 weeks, I've taken the Knicks out of the East, and one of those weeks, I took the Celtics. This is my first time taking anyone other than the Thunder and the Knicks, pretty much. The Thunder and the Knicks were my preseason pick as well, so I've stood on this for a long time. But as of right now, I got the Timberwolves and the Pistons in the NBA Finals. Two small market teams. This would be amazing. Cade Cunningham versus Anthony Edwards. I think those are probably 2 of the top 10 players in the league. I mean, definitely 2 of the top 10. Cade Cunningham, you could argue this season's close to the top 5. You could argue the same thing with Ant. I would probably go, if I had to rank just off the top of my head without like really looking into it, I go Jokic 1, SGA 2, Giannis 3, Luka 4, Wemby 5, and then Ant 6 and Cade 7 probably is what I would do. So this would be a very fun series. I think I'm going with the Timberwolves. Call me crazy. 5 seed out of the West. I think the champ comes out of the West this season. The Timberwolves, yes, they've played down to their competition, but they've also played up. Now, I know the Pistons have been like the best team against the good teams this season, but I think the experience gets them. The Timberwolves have made the conference finals 2 years in a row. The Pistons were really bad, and then last year they lost in the first round in 7 games. I think the Pistons are probably still a year away. I really do. I think the Timberwolves, if this is the scenario, I think Anthony Edwards, Cade Cunningham, that would be insane. 2 of the potential faces of the league in the future. That would be great for the NBA, I will say. I think the Timberwolves get them, though. I got the Timberwolves as my NBA champ. I have not picked a team other than the Thunder this entire season. I got the Timberwolves over the Pistons in my NBA Finals. Let me know if I'm crazy in the comments. Let me know if you agree. But yeah, today I don't know. I was feeling like it was time to make a change, and I think there's no better time to do it. So yeah, I told you at the start of the video there's going to be some chaos. I bet you didn't expect me to pick the Timberwolves to win the championship. But that is going to do it for episode 10 of NBA Playoff Watch. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you go on there, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We do college basketball, college football, NFL, NBA, and MLB content every single week while those seasons are going. So if any of that interests you, turn on the noties. Make sure you subscribe to make sure you don't miss whenever we upload. But once again, that is going to do it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on Monday probably with another college basketball Power 40 rankings video.